Thank you for coming tonight. My name is Charlene Green. I am the program coordinator for the Dialogue on Race, and Deborah Ford and I would like to welcome you to the School Board Candidates Forum. Tonight we are hoping that with your energy and questions and involvement are going to question the folks before us on their ideas, their opinions, the things that they would like to do if they were to become a school board member. Well, let me tell you a little bit about the Dialogue on Race. It is a city initiative that began in 2009. We had what were called study circles, where you get groups of people together and they talk about community-related issues. And of course, our community issue was race. And we had approximately 700 people participate in that process. At least 100 of them were high school students from Charlottesville. Out of that discussion, we got approximately 150 different ideas for action. And so what we are doing now is the action phase of the Dialogue on Race. And so some of the things that we're doing, we have 4 specific work groups. They're education, economics, government, and social culture. And under those work groups, we have what are called action teams. And those action teams handle the work of the ideas that were generated in the study circles. And so we've got folks who are doing things with, for instance, the reentry for ex-offenders. They have been very busy. They organized a summit back in April where over 200 people attended to seek out services and bring attention to the needs and the struggles that folks who are trying to reenter society from incarceration are going through. Our action team for reentry is also putting together a very important resource guide. They've been putting in a lot of time in organizing that, and we hope to have that printed and distributed to different areas across the city and to different jails to provide a resource for those folks who are coming back primarily to Charlottesville, and they're looking for the most up-to-date information to help them get situated. We also have a group under the economic, in the economic area, working on minority business development. And some very important things are coming out of that. They had a summit back in May where 150 different business owners, minority business owners, co-owners, came to a summit to seek out information, to figure out ways in which we could work together to help the city and the surrounding area improve opportunities for minority business development. We've got our youth working on lots of different things. We've got, for instance, some folks here tonight. I'm very happy that we've got some young people here to participate in this process. But we have the young people from the female perspective, which is connected to the Dialogue on Race. And there are folks who are trying to make sure that there are services, there are activities, that there's attention given to the needs of primarily some of our underserved youth and some of our youth who happen to be minorities. And so they're doing great work, and I hope that you all will seek these young ladies out and let them know, and ask them questions about what they do. And we also have in the government area folks looking to create a human rights commission. We're looking at also seeking ways to make sure that the city is equitable in hiring practices. And so we've got lots of different areas that we're focusing on, and we're always looking for more folks to volunteer. So that information is on the back of your program if you are interested in getting connected with the dialogue. Some of the categories that you're going to hear regarding questions tonight so that you can start thinking about some of the questions, if you haven't generated one yet, of what you might want to ask, is in the area of community engagement. How well do we engage our community, and in what types of ways do we encourage everyone in our community to participate in the educational process? Cultural competency. To be culturally competent means that you have knowledge of what people are like who are different from yourself. And it's not just about race and ethnicity, it also is about gender, it's about language, it's about socioeconomic status, it's about lots of different ways in which you identify yourself. And so the question becomes, how much do you know as an individual that will help you interact and engage in conversation, or if you happen to be an educator, how much do you know so that you can teach in the most effective way the youth who may be different from you? We have a question on local history. That's a concern that a lot of our folks around town have an interest in, and so you'll hear that. And we also have a question on redistricting. And so there's an opportunity for you to think about a question in lots of different categories. We welcome our candidates, and we are very glad that you are here to join us in this process. I'm now going to turn it over to Ms. Horde so she can tell you about the League of Women Voters.
Hi everyone, thank you very much for coming. The League of Women Voters is delighted to be partnering with the Dialogue on Race. Charlene's been a wonderful organizer of this event, and we thank you all for coming tonight. I'll do one quick shameless plug, and then we will get straight to the forum. So I just want you to know that the League of Women Voters was founded in Charlottesville in 1946. We encourage citizens to be active, informed participants in their government. The League works to influence public policy through education and advocacy. The League is strictly nonpartisan, which means we neither support nor oppose candidates for public office at any level of government. At the same time, we are wholeheartedly political and work to influence policy through advocacy. The League of Women Voters is the original grassroots organization. Today, in Charlottesville, Albemarle, and across the country, the League is composed of women and men of all ages and viewpoints who share the belief that we, the people, is a call to action. For more information, look on the back of your brochure. Thank you. Now I'll turn it to the moderator. I apologize for having my back to all of you. I'm going to briefly read each of your bios alphabetically, and then we'll move directly to the questions, beginning with the question on community engagement. Let me talk a little bit about the format. I think I got ahead of myself. During the debate tonight, you'll each have 2 minutes to answer the questions we sent you earlier. Once that's finished, we'll go ahead to questions from the floor. First, questions that have been written down, and then questions directly from the people who come to the mic. In the second part, each of you will have 1 minute to answer the question. If it's directed to a single candidate, I'll look around to see if any of the rest of you want to answer it once that first candidate has had a chance to respond. So it's 2 minutes for your first question, 1 minute for the questions that come from the audience, and then 1 to 1.5 minutes depending on our time and our closest. Is that clear? Here's what I need to tell the audience. When you're thinking about questions, we respectfully ask that you stick directly to the question. I, as the moderator, and the candidates can ask for clarification if they need it. So just remember, questions are really what we're looking for. I also ask that you hold your applause. As much as I love applause, right now and at the forum, what we want is for the candidates to have as much time as possible to answer the questions. Everybody clear on that? All right. I'm just going to read each of the first few sentences from your bios, and you can provide the rest of the information. I'll also remind the audience that the bios are right on the back of your brochures. So we'll start with Colette Blount. who earned her bachelor's degree from Wellesley College, and in 1994, a Master of Arts in Education from the College of William and Mary. She's in her 18th year of teaching with experience ranging from elementary gifted education to middle school math. Currently, she teaches 7th and 8th grade history and civics at Jackson P. Berlin Middle School. She was elected to the Charlottesville City School Board in 2007. Ivana Kadija. In 2009, Ivana helped bring fresh fruits and veggies to Clark Elementary. In 2010, as chair of the School Health Advisory Board, she led the overhaul of the Comprehensive School Wellness Policy. Ivana is certified by the Institute of Integrative Nutrition and is CEO of Yourishment.com, an online health network. Amy Laufer, an educator with 8 years of teaching experience in private, public, and supplemental educational services. She has a master's in education from the Teachers College at Columbia University. She's co-chair of the Greenbrier PTO, and a member of the Commission for Children and Families as a parent advocate for the last 4 years. Stephen Latimer is a lifelong Virginian and a product of Virginia's public education infrastructure, having attended Warwick High School and Virginia's largest university, Virginia Commonwealth University. He's taught math and works at a library. Guian McKee has served as an interim member of the school board since replacing Alvin Edwards last year. He is the parent of a kindergartner and a 3rd grader at Clark Elementary School, where he has served as vice president of the PTO. McKee is an associate professor of public policy at UVA, where he teaches courses on the history of public policy. Jennifer McKeever is a mother of 3 and wife of an engineer and volunteer firefighter. She is an attorney and graduate of UVA, PVCC, and WAHS. Since arriving in the area in 2005, she immediately got involved in her community and is chair of the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, the CDBG Task Force, and Local Democratic Committee. Willa Neale, after graduating from UVA, she spent 20 years in healthcare information technology. Willa works at UVA Medical Center as a project manager and senior systems analyst. She has been PTA co-president 3 years at 2 schools and chaired many special events and fundraisers. Citywide, she has served on 2 budget review committees and 2 search committees. Thank you all.